Not just Halloween today, it is also the last day of National Bat Week. I didn't even know that was going on. Well, bats have been a spooky Halloween staple for as long as people can remember, but Connecticut is trying to change the way people see the flying critters. Fox 61's Joe Monty is at the White Memorial Conservation Center in Litchfield, where some of that work is being done. Hey, Joe.
Hey, good morning. Look, it's a common thing for people to be afraid of bats. They call them rats with wings. They think they're creepy, but you know what? They're an important part of this state's environment.
A lot of different things bats have a role in, either pollinating or getting to market for us.
Jenny Dixon with the Department of Energy and Environmental Protection has studied bats for decades. She says they play an important role in many of the everyday products we use.
Some of the things like tequila that we think about a lot of times, pollinated by bats. Plants all around the world, and many of the spices that we use, like allspice berries, bananas, K-pop filler that goes in life jackets.
But Dixon says these animals are misunderstood.
One of the other things we hear a lot is that bats are mice with wings. Bats are actually really closely related to primates, which means they're much more closely related to people than they are to mice.
She debunked two of the most common bat myths.
There's no way that they're going to get tangled up in our hair. And bats are kind of curious, but they're also incredibly adept flyers. So bats will fly close to us. They're after the mosquitoes and other insects that are flying around us.
Another misconception is that bats are blind. Dixon says a bat's eyesight is pretty sharp, and for local farmers, bats play an important role.
Here in Connecticut, our bats are all insect-eating bats. They're providing a lot of free insect control every night for most of the year, keeping insect populations low, but that means we're also not using as many pesticides to try and control those insects as we might.
Dixon says the state's bat population has suffered in recent years. A fungus called white nose syndrome found its way into Connecticut in 2007 and killed off a lot of bats. But Dixon says you can help the population make a comeback with a few steps. Limit the amount of light on the outside of your home at night. You have a cat? Keep it indoors. Dixon says cats are one of the best predators for hunting bats. And put a bat box in your yard so our bat friends have a cozy place to hang around. If you want to see bats in their natural habitat, the state has live cameras set up in a big barn at the White Memorial Conservation Center in Litchfield. You're not going to see many of them this time of the year. James Fisher with the Conservation Center says that they're probably already hibernating in a cave somewhere. It's a little more warmer, a little more stable, but you can keep these cameras in mind for when it warms up next year. It'll be a pretty cool sight to see. You saw some of the video there in that story. For now, in Litchfield, Joe Monty, Fox 61.